Hi everybody, my name's Encore. I go as Magic Code on the forums, and today I'm going to be doing a Introduction to Mecanum Wheels tutorial. VEX just released the Mecanum wheels today. I'm very excited about that, definitely ordering those. And I think a lot of people are going to want to know how to do a drivetrain. So here goes the tutorial. Let's start off with a simple Mecanum drivetrain, which is exactly identical to a tank drive, where there are four wheels, each independently controlled of each other. Well, in a four-motor tank drive, at least. But when you have Mecanum wheels installed, you can have holonomic motion in this same configuration, which is really, really great. So let's take a look at how a Mecanum drive works. The movement of the wheels is identical to that of a tank drive when you're doing basic movement, going forward, backwards, and turning. Where if this side goes forward and this side goes forward, then the robot will go forward. And if this side goes backwards, the robot's going to go backwards. If this side goes forward, this side goes backwards, the robot is going to turn in that direction. And if this side goes backwards and this side goes forward, the robot's going to turn in that direction. All very, very simple, the same as a tank drive. But here's where it gets really cool, in the strafing motion, where if this wheel over here turns backwards toward the inside of the robot, and this wheel here turns forward again toward the inside of the robot, and on the opposite side, this wheel turns forward away from the center of the robot. This is the exact opposite as on the left side, and again this wheel turns backwards away from the center of the robot. This robot is going to strafe in that direction. Whichever side is turning toward the inside of the robot, that's the direction in which the robot is going to strafe. And again, it's going to be the same thing on the other side. If this wheel moves forward away from the center of the robot, this wheel moves backwards away from the center, this wheel moves backwards toward the center, and this wheel moves forward toward the center, the robot's going to turn strafe in that direction. So that's how a Mecanum drive works. And now let's get started with how to program it. But before we can do that, we have to determine how we want our robot to just respond to our joysticks. And for this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate an arcade drive, because that seems to be the most preferred one when you're doing holonomic driving, which is what Mecanum wheels are used for. So let's start off with a simple joystick here. Now I'm using paint for this, so I apologize for the terrible quality of the drawings, and I don't have a graphics pad, so I'm using a mouse. But again, I think it'll make do. So now let's see what happens when we change the joystick values of our joystick. So if we want a robot to move forward, we're going to take the left joystick and the y-axis and move it forward. And that's going to cause our robot to move forward. Now let's map that to each of the wheels. When this joystick, the left joystick y-axis, is pushed forward, each of these wheels are going to go forward as well, because remember, as with the tank drive, when each wheel moves forward, the entire robot will move forward. So if we set up each wheel as a mathematical equation, then the first term in the equation is going to be the left joystick y-axis value. And as we saw, that's just going to be proportional to the wheel power, because when it goes positive, the wheel is going to go forward. So let's put that into the first term of every wheel, because as I said, each wheel will respond the same way to this joystick, because you go forward, you go backwards, every single wheel is doing the same thing. Now that moving forward and backward is done, let's take a look at turning. In arcade drive, when you turn a robot, that motion is usually controlled by the x-axis of the right joystick. So we want our robot to turn in that direction, so we're going to move that joystick to the right. Now let's take a look at each of the wheels again. Both of these wheels are going to be moving forward if the robot is turning to the right. So we want both of these wheels to have a positive value. Both of these wheels will be moving backwards if the robot is turning to the right, so we want both of these wheels to have a negative value in that case. So as per the mathematical equation, we are going to, on the left side, add the value of the right joystick x-axis, and on the right side, for both wheels, subtract the value of the right joystick x-axis. And now we can take a look at the really interesting stuff, the strafing. So let's take a look at what happens when the robot is strafing to the right. Now again, in arcade drive, strafing will be controlled by the left joystick x-axis. When we strafe to the right, this wheel will be moving toward the outside of the robot. This wheel will be moving toward the outside of the robot in the opposite direction. This wheel will be moving toward the inside of the robot, and this wheel will also be moving toward the inside of the robot. So this wheel is moving forward, the left front wheel is moving forward, the left back wheel is moving backwards. Since the value of the joystick, the left joystick x-axis is positive when we're moving to the right, and we want this wheel to be moving forward, it's going to be a proportion again of the same sign. So we're in the front left wheel, we're going to add the left joystick x-axis. In the case of the back left wheel, it's moving backwards, and the value of the joystick is positive, so we're going to subtract the value of the joystick from the back left wheel. And now for the right back wheel, that's moving forward, and the value of the joystick is positive, so we're going to add the value of the joystick to that wheel. And now for the front right wheel, that's moving backwards, and the value of the joystick is positive, so we're going to subtract the value of the joystick from that. Now if we simply equate the motor powers of each of the wheels to this equation that we've just created, we will have a fully functioning Mecanum drive. So that was an introduction to the Mecanum drivetrain. I hope you all enjoy your Mecanum wheels.